Hello everybody, AOG Gaming here, back with another video on Idle Awakening. Um, there was a new update, didn't really have a notification for it or a page for it that I know of. If there is, please tell me. Um, yeah, so the new update, they did release a new hero, a little bit of UI change, that's pretty much it. They technically released a new hero, but there's no event for him yet. It's another 17 plus dark hero. I'll show you in a second. So let's just go straight into it. How's everybody doing? I'm doing okay today. My voice is back for the most part. And my birthday's coming up, so I guess that's something to be happy about. Um, dark hero. Okay, so first let's do the UI changes though, because the new hero's cool and everything, but the UI changes are very interesting. So gate, now you can see everything here, and it looks like Mirage Island. They just took it away. Like there's no Mirage Island that's supposed to be right here. Um, yeah, it all looks pretty much the same otherwise. But yeah, everything else is pretty much the same. You can go to all your stuff here. I don't know if it looks different on different servers or stuff. But everything else is pretty much the same. Yeah, so everything else is pretty much the same, except for this. They basically just merged Mirage Island and Gates, so now it's Advanced Gates, I guess. They also put Holy Grail War in it, so I don't know how that's gonna work, because I haven't gone there yet, but we'll see. I wish they can put audio control so I can turn down the music like way down. It is really annoying. Oh yeah, they did change other stuff. So let me check real quick because I didn't check everything, but I checked most stuff. Okay, yeah, so that's all the same. This is all the same. This is all the same. Um, yeah, so not shop, but the mall. So, excuse me. So you have the items like normal. You have the hero stuff, but here it's weird, right? So now there is 4 different parts of this hero tab, and then I guess 4 sub tabs. The 4 parts. So it's a normal retiring hero part, so they made it more specific. That they put the treasure here as well. They put the draws from faction draws here, so that's interesting. Um, and they also put the guild stuff here, so that's cool. They have melee stuff here. Don't know where. I think this is just arena. Yeah, they don't have it. Here's Chrono, here's Reverse, and then here's Board Game. So they kind of made stuff more easy to get to if you're not already within that specific section. So just from the main page, it's really easier to get to Mirage Island stuff, Gate stuff, just much easier, which is cool. Obviously everyone's here for the hero, so we will be there in like maybe 30 seconds, but I'm just showing you guys everything that is very noticeable. I don't know about like minor patch stuff because I didn't really read the notes, but I just saw that there was a new update, so gotta make a video on that. How do you have? I want to see if I can upgrade a skill there. Okay. Don't mind what I just said. Let's go to check out this hero now. Okay, so Dark Hero, Satoru freaking Gojo. Yeah, Satoru Gojo. I don't know what else to say. If you don't know the Jujutsu Kaisen anime, then you're missing out. It's a very cool anime. Um, yeah, and the manga's going pretty. Well, it's pretty dark right now, but it's still going pretty fire. Um, so yeah, go read that. Um, so Satoru, we all know that he is a very overpowered character in the anime. He has this infinite, like, reverse, um, not chakra, sorry, reversed energy technique. So it's pretty cool. It's the six eyes or infinite eyes or whatever. So as I was reading this character, I was like, you know what? It doesn't sound before I get into this, because you know I always say they're broken, but most of the characters I can tell right away. This character, it took me a while, and I had to really had to like analyze what I was reading and just like picture what that means like while you're fighting. Okay, I'm putting this down just a little bit. Um, so yeah, let's just get straight into it. So, first of all, this character has three passives. Yes, I think Kaguya has two actives. I'm pretty sure, or she has three passives. I think there's one more character with three passives. If not, then Satoru is the only character with three passives. So let's go with this first one. So he's a mage. So any mage has plus 40%, plus 20 HP, plus 15 crits. Not all of them. This is all percentage. By the way, I didn't say that part. But most mages have this build because it's just a good mage build. They do a lot of damage. That's what they're there for. Unless they're there to heal, which then they would have more HP, or depending on how their actives work. Yada yada yada. Crit plus 15%, always good for mages that are damage dealing mages, which Satoru is. Let's get into his second passive. Here, Jesus, my throat is still not recovered. Sickness, I tell you. Um, so Territory Unlimited Void level 3. I don't think it's called this in the anime. I think it's Limitless Void. I don't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's called Unlimited Void. When battle starts, I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to say. All targets take 25% more damage. Now, this is not affected by Purge, by. Well, I guess. No, because it's only buffing your damage, right? Well, no, they just take 25% more damage. So it's like a passive. So it was really hard to think about this one because it was like, well, they can get more defense. Can't they, like, technically tank the damage through that? And technically, yes. But yeah, I think defense and armor is like the two things that can stop, like the two only things that you can use. And those are like very specific characters and strategies that use those um buffs, defensive buffs. So yeah, it just like just all the applications you could use is for this is for dots, this is for any debuff, this is for special like this is so useful. Um like guaranteed debuffs like Kirito, insanely good. He does heavy bleeding, which it can't be purged. But some I don't know if no characters don't ignore dots, but they do ignore crowd control. I don't know if some of them ignore debuffs, but I don't think a character like can ignore a debuff unless it's a specific type of debuff, or they're purging it. I don't like. I'm not 100% sure. I'm like 98% sure. But yeah, this is just this by itself. This is like this is two times better. Well, actually, no. Tsunade's passive is pretty broken. Because as you can see, every mage is gonna have crits. I'm pretty sure most mages have crit, like 90% of them. Um, so a lot of strategies can do crit strategies. Just like Tsunade's passive is pretty broken, but this one is for damage dealing strategies. This one is the most broken passive that I've seen. most broken support passive, like overall, like most broken support passive overall and passive overall in general, is Kaguya. Rimurus, I had to do a little bit of rereading. It's good, it's cool, but Rimuru himself is much better than his support. He has like a little bit of support, but he's just like a tank. Like that's literally what he is. So um yeah, Rimuru is a tank, but yeah, Kaguya is just broken when it comes to support. So yeah, Satoru same seems like he's in the same level as Lelouch with his Gawain armor and stuff. It's Lelouch is so broken. But he's like just right below the chaos characters, which I think is good power scaling, but it is making the light and dark factions stronger, but you can just I keep saying but a lot. You can just have, the opposing faction, but they do more damage to each other. If not, then I don't know. Light and dark is weird because technically you're neutral unless you're a light or dark element, and then if you're using more light and dark, then you're either strong against depending on whether you have more light or dark. But then that's not exactly how it works because it is depending on synergy. So it's very interesting. But I am saying that he is ranked 3 for top support abilities in the game. No, sorry, 2. Tsunade's third. Because the healing is good when you do crit, and it does fit in so many strategies. But not every strategy needs to heal from crits. Um, it's not very specific. It's just because a lot of strategies use crit, especially early game. That I decided to use Tsunade because she is a character you can get early game. And there's just so many characters that have crit for science, melee, and magic characters. But for light and magic, it's more dots, crowd control, and like special stuff. Light and dark characters are definitely the strongest of the bunch, especially when put together. They just annihilate. Okay, so now we're gonna move on because we're kind of going on to random tangents. But just know Satoru's passive, at least the second one, broken. First one is just like any other mage. Okay, here comes the third passive. Yes, the third passive. Um, Six eyes. So this is all level 3. You can get this all when he is um 10 star, which I do have 10 star Mikasa now, so that's pretty good. Anyway, six eyes. When the battle starts, gets damage resist plus 5%, 5 levels in total. So I'm assuming it stacks. Because attack plus 10% for every target killed can be stacked up to 3 levels. So 30% attack and 25% damage resist. That's pretty good. So he just gets these passively. And it seems like they're permanent. They don't. Well, I'm pretty sure they can be. Oh yeah, no, it says all buffs can't be. Oh, I forgot about that clause. Okay, yeah. So there's a period. So you have to read the entire thing. There's periods. So he gets the damage resist. It says 5 levels in total, so I'm assuming it can be stacked because it doesn't say anything about it stacking after the period of the first sentence. But it lasts 4 turns, so I'm assuming every turn then, because it's a passive. So once, twice. So so he goes up to 25%. But does each buff last 4 turns, or does the like is it just like a buff that lasts a single buff that lasts like 4 turns, but there's like 4 stages to it, and then it disappears after 4 turns? Maybe that's how it works. Um, Actually, yeah, maybe that's how it's interesting. It's hard to understand exactly how these buffs and attacks work, um, which is why I'm doing more basic stats before then I go into like attacks. When I'm gonna do like a full comprehensive of every character, they did just release this character, so I have to add this character to my sheet. I'm sure it's in one of my character books, but yeah. Um, so yeah, it depends on how this works. If it's how I think it is, where because if each buff lasts 4 turns and he gets one every single turn, then that means um, he basically has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7 turns of full buffs. Um, and it peaks on the fourth turn. So on the fourth turn, it's at 25% damage resist, and then it slowly goes away, which kind of makes sense because it's like two sides of infinity, because his ability is infinite void or limitless void. Um, but then I was thinking that was a little broken because he basically has a good amount of damage resist for a chunk of that. So like on the second turn, he has a good amount of, like, 15% damage resist is really good. 10% is decent, but if you have 10% for the second, all basically all the way to the fifth, no, the sixth turn that you have. So you do your you've done all your ultimates, and the enemy team is coming for you for their ultimate as well. So pretty broken. But if I think it works the other way, where it just stays on you, it's unpurgeable, and then it slowly increases for it just lasts for 4 turns. It's one buff and it just has 4 phases. It'd be a little bit less broken, but it doesn't say unstackable. Oh no, it does. It says can be stacked. Oh no, but that's for the other sentence. Never mind. It doesn't say it can't be stacked or cannot, so I don't know if it can, but doesn't it only says when the battle starts, so I don't think it can be. Um, So, my conclusion with this, because these new characters that they're releasing have typos, are confusing, and they're sometimes hard to understand. They're not that hard to understand, but the fact that I have to ask myself this entire question and basically share it with you guys shows that this character is not that easy to understand. But then once you do understand them, you're like, the power creep is real. Um, so with my conclusion, like I was saying, I do believe that first sentence is just he gets one buff, it has 4 phases, last 4 turns. He gets up to 25% damage resist on the fourth turn, which is really good for. Well, I don't know, because he only gets. What's for the second ultimate, so I guess that's really good. Um, so he does have that damage resist. But yeah, I don't think it works the other way. Just like a question I have to ask myself because it reads really weirdly, and it has typos. Okay, second sentence. This is literally just 3 passives I'm reading. Attack plus 10% for every target that gets killed. I'm assuming it's supposed to say can be stacked up to 3 levels. So 30% attack. That's really good. For warriors, for mages, for tanks, for healers. Depends on what your actives are. This guy plus basic, yeah, so it doesn't matter for him. We'll go after that. Don't worry, in a second. But yeah, so 30% attack, really good. He already has 15% crit, and all targets take 25% more damage. So he's basically just like, I'm on the battlefield, bitch. What's up? Um, yeah, sorry for soaring there, but like seriously, this character is a little up there. Yeah, and then all buffs can't be purged. So this is another one I had a conflict with because there's a lot of characters in the game that they added in the last like 3 updates. When they added all the new light heroes, all the new dark heroes, and then they added like the single ones. They have a lot of things that say can't be purged or purges the enemy team or both. Um, Purges a debuff on a random enemy, stuff like that. Because like the early game was kind of ridiculous. Like you just buffed your team and you kind of won because there wasn't a lot of debuffs other than S death and her speed. Um, and yeah, you could just buff your characters, make them all juggernauts, and then kill everybody, or just have revive strategies that like make your characters stronger when they come back. And then yeah, you could just destroy an enemy team. So now that they have the excuse me, the purgeable like actives and passive stuff, um, makes the game a little bit more balanced, and it also allows them to add more characters to the game. So it's pretty cool. That being said, though, this guy says all buffs can be purged. All buffs can't be purged. So I don't know if this means you buff Satoru and he keeps the buff for however long it lasts, but if it's a permanent buff, he keeps it forever. That's what I'm assuming, because if that's what it means, this is the most broken, not the most broken passive. It's like it's right next to Lelouch's, so it's in a tie with third place for the third best passive, because I'm pretty sure Kaguya's passive is the first most broken one. No, actually it'd be fourth place because so tied with fourth place with Lelouch for um best fourth best passive skill in the game. Very broken. So I do like that they're adding more light and dark heroes, but I hope that they aren't all just like 17 plus. Um, well, maybe they should, because I believe all the 5 stars should at least have exclusive weapon and stuff, so they can be a little bit more balanced. Especially with all these new heroes. This hero is kind of broken. So yeah, this is just broken. And if it only works on the buffs he gives himself, well, he doesn't give himself. Oh, except for damage resist, which is still pretty helpful. Yeah, the damage resist thing is just broken. Like, yeah. So just the 3 passives themselves, pretty good. And then he has he has 4 passive skills. I didn't even read that part. Okay, so well, I guess he's just gonna have all these 4 passive skills. Okay, so cursed technique reversal red. Assume it's supposed to be. Um, don't take normal action for the first 10 turns. So that means he just doesn't do basic attacks. He doesn't do actives. He doesn't have actives anyway. Um, but he will start doing basic attacks, which is why the later part of this skill becomes relevant. So, don't take normal action. Attack any target that has acted with 140% physical damage. This is really broken. So it's basically just a counterattack. But it's a better counterattack because you can put him anywhere on the field. You don't have to put him in the front, and he will still counterattack. Because it doesn't matter. They just have to attack. So yeah, pretty broken if you ask me. This is basically a better Artoria. Artoria is just a little bit cooler just because she's more about counterattack, but this is still like this is contending with the more versatile counterattacker, because Artoria is a pretty easy to get counterattacker, but she's also just a good, like, consistent counterattacker. Jotaro is also good, but he's a tank. He doesn't do too much damage. He does do guaranteed crits on warriors, but that's not super relevant unless you're doing a crit strategy that includes some damage buffs, so those crits actually do matter. Um, so yeah, and then the last part of this passive skill is basic attack, 50% damage multiplier after 10 turns. So yeah, like I said, he'll start doing basic attacks, but that's just it because all of his other attacks or all of his skills are passive. So he'll do his basic attack on turns 5 and no turns like after turn 4 basically during that last part. And then yeah, it'll just go back to him counterattacking, and then well, he won't have damage resist anymore, but he'll still have attack up. Doesn't say that it goes away, the attack, by the way, just so you know. So he kills 3 people, he has plus 30% attack, or plus 55% attack. So he just does plus 55% attack passively. And it just slowly increases. So you don't want him to kill targets, that's for sure. Um, Also, another thing I want to mention about this character, like you guys should stay through this entire video just so you guys know, like all this information I'm giving to you is for your benefit. He can't be locked down. It doesn't matter. Stun doesn't really matter. Bind doesn't really matter. Literally, he avoids all form of crowd control that isn't yeah, I'm pretty sure he avoids all crowd control. Actually, I don't, he might not avoid bind. Um but the thing is, so I think he avoids every single type of like stasis ability, or like static, like it just makes your opponent static in some way, but not completely. So I think bind is the hardest one to avoid. There's not a lot of characters that do avoid that. And usually it's unpurgeable unless you have talents, because they can't unpurge your talents or your cores. So do use those. Do try and get good cores and talents, because those do help when your active skills or your passive skills are binded or you're silenced or whatever. Um, so bind, I think, just stops you from using your active skills. He doesn't have an active, so yeah, it doesn't matter for him. Most characters, it does. It doesn't matter for Satoru. So I think Satoru is the first character with 4 passives, and Kaguya is the first character with 3 passives. I think we'll check on that in a second if we have time. This character is broken. Yeah, so he can't get hit by that. Stun stops you from using your actives, I believe, and your basics. He doesn't have actives, and he doesn't have basics until turn 10. So it stun says you can't move, but like the description, that's what it says. But you can move. Like I still have the stun thing, and I've moved. And then I go back and I still have the stun thing. I don't know how that works because I do have purge on some of my characters. On Rem, she can purge when she heals with a talent, but it doesn't work all the time, and I could still see the stun circle above my character, and it was attacking. I was like, oh, that's weird, and it continuously did that. So I don't know if that's a bug, um, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they can still do their basics. Oh no, it was the counterattack, right? Pretty sure it's the counterattack. So it allows for counterattack, um, which he does have counterattack. Um, yeah. So honestly, this is broken. This is really broken. Um, he's gonna be a very good character to play in any games. So let's go over his exclusive weapon, which is his eye patch. Very cool. It basically makes him a stronger mage in terms of defense. He does get extra magic damage, which does help when there are targets reviving. So he is anti-revive, but it doesn't do a lot of damage, so I didn't go over it a lot. And you really do want the physical damage because he seems to do physical damage a lot more. Uh, yeah, the magic damage doesn't really matter. Like you can get up at most like 22, maybe up to 30% magic damage, and that's like nothing. You can get characters up to 300% magic damage, which is much better use of that. Still good though. It means that if they revive with like 5% HP or less, he basically deals with early game revives, but later game you can change the HP up to like 40, 50. Like unless you increase his magic damage a lot, that ability wasn't gonna work. And he's not a main magic attacker. He seems more even though he's a mage, which is very interesting. He seems more physical. Yeah, he just seems more physical. I mean, he does more. Well, 25, so 37. Actually, you can get this pretty high. Yeah, so I take back everything I said. You can make this broken. You can increase it up to like 50%. Yeah, and just kill all revives. That is so good. And then he just like basically just attacks any target that it's. Oh, that's so good. I hope that this works on counterattacks and multiple attacks because those are really annoying. We need to get those out of here. I think they're fun to use, but they just like stall the game so much. I just wish it would do twice the amount of damage or something. Um, yeah, this guy's gonna be broken. So let's finish going over his exclusive weapon. So yeah, so he deals more magic damage too. So yeah, those revives, basically all revives will be impossible with around him. Steal 5% debuff accuracy from all light heroes and 5% healing amounts from all dark heroes in the beginning of each turn. Last one turn can't be purged. Effect will be removed once target or himself gets killed. I don't think this was necessary. It does make him more useful in like every situation now, specifically light and dark. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I say about his level 2. His level 4 though, lifesteal plus 20%. Oh, great. So you just had to make one of the best mages in the entire game. Not only stop revive, do a lot of damage, make enemies take more damage overall, counterattack every single target, and have damage resist. So you're just a tank. Yeah, he's basically an attacking tank that heals. That's basically what every character is going down to. Just either it has more HP than attack or more attack than defense, but it has a ton of both. And then it has like a special thing like stun, defense, or well, I guess in this case he's just increasing attack and banning revive. So that's his special thing. So yeah, that's Satoru. Really broken. Um, I think he's gonna go well with a lot of characters, but yeah, I mean, have Satoru and Lelouch on your team with Kaguya and Rimuru, and you're basically just winning every game. Like, even if they're like 3 times the amount of power, like, you're just broken. As long as you max them out with gear and level them all the way up to 60 or whatever the cap is at 5 star. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. It really shows your support, helps me out, keeps you up to date with my content. Um, 52 subscribers last time. 51. No, 51 subscribers last time I checked. You guys are amazing. Keep going. Um, yeah, our next milestone is 100, so just double of what we have. Um, yeah, and I feel with adding more games and continuing to post, just it'll attract more people to the channel. So yeah, we can get that. It won't be that hard, right? Um, this character is broken. I just my mind is still trying to wrap around that. Yeah, it's gonna work really good. But yeah, that's all I have for this video. So thank you guys for watching, ALG Gaming, and I'll see you guys later.